Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One time for the one time. Yes, man. The song playing in the background is called 0,050 0050 by Hit Boy on the track. And yeah, man, we're back with the Cardinals franchise. Joe, my quarterback, just got his first upgrade, right? After that, this is what the roster looks like, right? My quarterback's now 41 overall, right? We got a bunch of speed on the team, right? Our third string running back, he's like a wide out receiver, scat back, right? Tons of speed at the receiving core as well as the tight end core, right? We know our quarterback is not good. So we're trying to get it to where as soon as he gets the ball in his playmaker's hands, there's a chance for a big play. Right, his O line needs a lot of work. I mean, the whole team needs a lot of work, right? And then you see those out of position mentors, right? But I didn't want to make my quarterback real good, right? You know, there are 96 or so, really 64 to 96, given every given team. I say about 96, so we're just assuming there are three quarterbacks per team, right? 96 quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not in the NFL, right? I know I gave myself 10 years experience, but I'm not in the NFL. I don't deserve to be considering myself a top 96 or a top 100 quarterback, right? So I gave myself a lot of speed in the front seven on defense. My secondary wasn't too worried about them, right? We'll be using our bigger corners as safeties, right? Of course, we already explained this stuff, right? But I didn't want to disrespect the journey, the long journey it takes to get to the league, being the type of player that it takes to get to the league, right? So I don't really belong, right? I don't really belong. We won't have a practice squad. Right? If we need a practice squad player or a guy to be promoted via the whatever, because there's basically a free agent. So we'll just sign somebody from the free agent pool if we need somebody from the free agent pool or the practice squad, right? Job gets his second upgrade. This is preseason football, ladies and gentlemen. So Job now has his second upgrade. Our long snapper, Derek Poole, he's listed at 6'6", right? We're gonna have to shrink him. Right? As you noticed, all our linemen are 6 feet tall. Our quarterback, our Job is 5'10". So he's the de facto backup center as well as the long snapper. So we're gonna ask him to be shorter so Job has no problem seeing over the line, right? Everybody's making 5 mil in this first season. Right? Everybody's gonna be making 5 mil until they prove themselves, except Job, right? Job, he gets zero. He gets not a darn thing. His dad is the owner and the coach and the GM, right? Dad is the boss, so Joe's gonna move back home, and Dad has assigned Mom. He put Mom to work. Mom's gonna be balancing the books. Dad is still the owner. He's still the captain. Still the head honcho. Still Big Daddy, Boss Hoss, your honor. But Mom putting them to work, putting the mom to work, and we're gonna have a family affair, right? Kyler Murray, he looked good in that Seahawks uniform, right? But we're gonna trade him to the Denver Broncos, right? Geno hasn't really regressed like that. Geno's actually a better quarterback than Russell. You look at the Broncos quarterback situation, right? You got Stidham, you got DiNucci, and Russell Wilson at 35 years old, right? What are they gonna do in the future, right? So we figure, you know what, we're gonna give you our guy and his wideout. It's a package deal, right? And send Russell back to where he belongs, Seattle, right? And don't worry, right? I know he had a bad season that past season, but we're gonna send him back to Seattle where he belongs, and we're gonna pay him. He's gonna be the highest paid backup, so him and CC and whoever can be happy, right? Our scheme, we're using the Buccaneers playbook, right? With the vertical power run scheme 4-3, the Jets defensive playbook, the Bucks playbook, because Tom Brady's the default quarterback on this game. So I'm thinking, well, we don't want our quarterback running, right? We want our quarterback standing in the pocket, taking shots downfield, and yeah, stuff like that, right? So here he is, right there. Another upgrade for him in this preseason, right? He's not a scrambler. Right, taking a look at his tags, he now has the bridge quarterback tag as well as the mentor tag, right? At 30 years old, his preseason statistics, if this is any indication of what he's going to be doing throughout the season, he needs to do better, right? We're going to make Job a captain. He had to earn it. I know he's 30 years old. I know he's one of the older guys on the team, but he had to earn captain distinction in the roster. Oh man, those ratings are just pitiful, right? And with that being said, you know, we're not going to be shooting for the stars. The goal for the wins goal is very conservative, right? 4 wins and we good, right? We ain't trying to shoot for the stars just yet, right? Injuries were turned off in the preseason. I'm going to do that moving forward, but during the season, gonna turn them on, right? The keys, talking to the press, right? The season opener. Gotta be stifling defense. You guys have watched enough of my gameplays to know all I want to do is sack the quarterback, disrupt the pass, load the box, 5 guys on the line, 7 guys in the box, and send 6 guys. If you blocking or send a guy to block, that's the only way to stop me. I will disguise my pressure as best as possible, but you know I'm coming. So yeah, man, Seahawks quarterback Geno, right? Russell has a superstar ability, right? But Geno's the higher overall rated guy, right? We want a blitz counter. First the Seahawks, first Jordan Brooks, their outside backer, not Bobby Wagner, but Brooks is still that guy, right? Taking a look at the upgrades, right? Bozeman and McDowell, the linebackers who we're going to be sending on blitzes a lot, right? Seahawks, we beat them. And Bozeman, he was able to get Player of the Week honors, as well as Justin Fields. I see you, Justin. I see you, right? Here we go with the upgrades again. I want to make sure to show you that. Right, upgrades are important. Bozeman had 4 points, right? Deshaun Lindley, he had a pick in the last game, in the Packers game, right? I'm not showing you the season games. I'm showing you just the season prep. I'm gonna show you the season, things in the season. I'm not gonna show you no gameplays, right? But our DBs just got a bunch of XP. Lindley had a pick in the last game. He balled out. Our coaching tree, upgrade that. Right, we'll start off with player personnel first. We upgraded player personnel a ton before we made our coach, right? Our upgrades for this week, or for this portion of upgrades, right? Starting off with Gordon, going all the way down to the veteran Sammy Watkins, rocking number 82, playing strong safety. How you like that, right? Jordan Love, now the man in Green Bay, 70 overall. Don't let that fool you. He got a fast release. He's really good. Right, he's good. He's got a great receiving core. It's kind of what I envisioned in making my team, right? And of course, Rashawn Gary, not just a good Packers player, but one of the best in the league, right? But yeah, man, what I envisioned with this team was the concept of having sort of like a system catered to our quarterback, speed on top of speed, and putting our guy in a position where he can be successful, right? As we consistently are getting upgrades, right? Upgrading our players, upgrading our talent. Like I said, start off with player personnel, get this fully fleshed out, and then get to the actual coach, right? McDowell now, player of the week. You're going to be seeing our guys player of the week every week, right? Tandem defensive breakout. Jeremiah Posey, rocking number 18. He's a bigger safety. Look at those guns on him. He's a bigger corner, playing corner, kind of like a safety. He's inspired by Deshaun Lindley's pretty good play this season. He's been steady, Deshaun Lindley, right? And we're going to try and praise Jeremiah Posey. Deshaun Lindley gets some XP, but we're going to try to push Jeremiah Posey to be a better player, even though we're not really looking for guys in the secondary to step up like that. But he's going to be amped, right? Talking to our right guard, right? That's our right guard, Johnny Forbes, right? Yeah, it's our right guard, Johnny Forbes. He's like an offensive team leader, right? He's about the same size, same height as coach. So he don't really look like a lineman, but he can definitely get the job done, rest assured, right? We're going to be trying to be fundamentally sound. That's what I was talking about him. It's being fundamentally sound, right? Going up against the Lions, David Montgomery, right? He's not their new back now. He's been there for a few seasons, right? And you got to watch out for this dude. Aiden Hutchinson has a superstar X factor, went to Michigan, so he's back home for the Detroit Lions. He's a beast, and it's showing through here, right? Player upgrades, right? And taking a look at the last game, we beat the Lions, right? Coming up next is the Rams, right? Last week's player of the week, right? Von Miller. It's Miller time. Still gets it done, right? He's still doing his thing, right? Going up against this, our first meeting versus the Rams, right? And we're talking about Cooper Kupp, right? Arguably the best receiver in the league, right? No need to talk trash, right? We don't want him doing us dirty, right? Just get the W. That's the message this week. Just get the W. QB1 check-in. The press wants to talk about Job, a guy who clearly not going to carry the team, a guy who clearly needs to focus on building chemistry, right? This quarterback is not even really an NFL quarterback, right? Mad scientist, because I'm certainly I'm scheming our guys, specifically our quarterback, but everybody else can kind of get schemed too, but our quarterback is getting schemed, trying to have a dominant defense, and put our quarterback in a position where he has unlimited chances to score, right? You see the guys that we want to focus on versus the Rams, right? Stay away from this dude. I played this game. This guy is a problem, Aaron Donald, right? So I'm in a division with some talented guys, right? Joe gets another upgrade, and our kicker, Tyson Pryor, with an upgrade. Right now, I missed some upgrades. So I'm going to show you the roster and the ratings as it stands, because this is very important, showing you the upgrades, right? If you know anything about Madden franchise mode, you know that you can edit players at will. You can edit everything about them. You can edit except for their experience. You can edit their age, their ratings, everything. So for me, it's just like I want to make sure we show that, right? We show their upgrades in real time when it happens, right? I don't want you not knowing, right? I want to make sure we show their upgrades so that anytime, you see an overall rating jump, and then if I'm consistently showing that, you're going to notice the overall jump. So I want to make sure we're showing the upgrades as they happen, right? I want to be clear on that, right? Yeah, I don't want it to feel cheap. It's just an integrity thing to me, right? But yeah, taking a look at our team, Bozeman, he separated himself, right? Geddes, I highlighted him, much like O'Callahan, who was a defensive end. We're going to move Geddes back to linebacker eventually. But yeah, man, your boy Bozeman is snapping. He is snapping. He is out here going crazy, playing really good. And he's the de facto leader of this defense, right? And of course, you see Tyson Pryor and our punter, Stan Kirkpatrick. Everybody's playing well, man. Everybody's playing well, even with these low overalls, right? We won our last matchup, right? We beat the Rams, right? Seeing the players of the week, Bozeman is in there. Going up against the Raiders, now back in Oakland. Josh Jacobs, the highest or second or one of the highest overall rated players on the game. And Big Max Crosby. Run away from him. Just run to the other side. Don't let him come get you, right? Channing McDowell, not to be slept on. Not to be slept on, Mr. McDowell, right? We would beat the Raiders, right? And we do it in convincing fashion, right? Because we're not worried about NFL teams. We're going to play the first 10 games and simulate, right, a bunch of games. We did lose the game, as you saw. Right? We lost to the Packers. I might have said we won. I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong, right? Talking to Johnny Forbes again, right? And we're just talking about execution here. Right? There's nothing more to be talking about. This is a football game. We play the game of football, fundamentally sound. We're coming off a short week, as it said, right? Going up against the Niners. Niners are a tough team, right? Got to worry about Christian McCaffrey. He's a fantastic running back. They're telling us to worry about Fred Warner, not Nick Bosa. I mean, either one of them is a problem. But, either way, you want to worry about Nick Bosa, right? Fred Warner's more that pass coverage field general linebacker, right? As we show you the upgrades here for guys on the defense, as well as Job. Job is consistently upgrading himself, right? What I did for Job is we turned him to a 20-year-old as we go into the bye week. We did turn him to a 20-year-old mostly throughout the season because I didn't want him to try and retire on me. So he's playing as a 20-year-old. We all know his real age, but that's one of my tricks to helping get his XP to a certain level, right? That, as well as also when necessary, switching his position, like I did with Justin Fields, like I did with all the other players in my Bears franchise, right? As we talk to the media, tell them, hey, nobody's getting a day off, right? This roster's bad. I'm gonna need all y'all working, firing on all cylinders, and getting as much reps in, much work in as you can to get these overall ratings up. I know I put them low intentionally, but that don't give you no. You gotta put in some work. Everybody got to put in extra work on the bye week. Nobody's going home. Y'all some kids. So y'all's going to have to band together and be a family, right? Be together, right? So I show you the coaching tree again. Fleshing the coaching tree out, right? Want to get, like I said, want to get player personnel. But yeah, man, as I was mentioning earlier, as we get ready to go into our second matchup with the Rams, beat them the first time, they don't like us. They never do, right? It's a divisional rivalry. They don't like us. It's two Cowboys make it into the player of the week, right? Sammy Watkins, the old reliable, playing strong safety these days, right? He's firing up the team in the breakdown, right? I think in this game, if I'm not mistaken, he did in fact have a kick return for a touchdown. I don't know how he got on that, how he got there. Maybe because he was a free safety and we moved him or something happened. But he was on kick return and he returned one to the crib. So shouts out to Sammy, Big Sammy Watkins, still getting it done, right? We already know about the Rams, right? They want us to focus on that young running back, Zach Evans, who they traded Cam Akers to let him be that guy. I think they cut Cam Akers, I'm not sure. But all I know is that they want Zach Evans to be that guy in LA. Upgrades there. And of course, we beat the Rams. Bozeman, right? He gets himself another player. The boy is on his way to possibly being an MVP. We get another short week. And I'm talking to Brockers, right? One of those guys, those out of position mentors, right? He's really a D lineman. We put him to the left guard position again for the express purpose of being a mentor, and so that the guys that we're hiring as backups are just that, as backups. They don't take nobody's job, right? Christian McCaffrey must be hurt because Brock Purdy is the guy who they're telling me to focus. And now they're telling me to focus on Nick Bosa. So maybe Fred Warner's hurt, or maybe Nick Bosa was hurt in the first matchup. I don't know. But either way, clearly Nick Bosa is the one you want to worry about because he's a D lineman. Right? Linebackers can drop back in the coverage. And Fred Warner's that type of guy who can drop back in the coverage and pick you off, right? But no worry, right? We beat the 49ers again. We pretty much have owned them throughout the regular season, right? Taking a look at the primetime players for the last week, right? McDowell, slowly but surely getting better. We're taking on the Jets. This would technically be, I'm not counting the 2023-2024 season as year one of Rodgers' 5-year verbal commit. I'm counting this season as year one. So next season is year two, and yeah, man, injuries. Harbin is hurt, right? Gallagher, some of our starters are hurt, right? A couple of backups hurt, right? Garrett Wilson, right? He's hurt. But like I said, man, I want to keep, and Wilson has evolved into a great receiver with a great version of Aaron Rodgers on the squad, right? As we, of course, beat them, right? Guy play the Bears. 2 Texans are on the players of the week list, right? But like I said, right, with Rodgers, I'm gonna come back to that, right? Because we have a breakout scenario, and none other than Big Demario Bozeman, right? He's been balling, consistently getting player of the week recognition. I think that the reason why those breakout scenarios came fewer and further in between is because I'm an owner for so many teams in the franchise. And I know that when you're the owner of a team in franchise mode, breakout scenarios, they come less and less. So I kind of like that, right? I'm accustomed to seeing a lot of them as a coach. So I kind of like that breakout scenarios are fewer and further in between, right? We see the upgrades. Of course, we beat the Bears. Time to take on the Seahawks. We opened the season against them, and we beat them, right? We barely won that game, though. We were a little rusty, but we made it work, right? Kenneth Walker, right? The main man to be worrying about, right? As well as, again, Jordan Brooks, right? I don't know why they had us worrying about Geno first week, but whatever, you know, be worried about Kenneth Walker. But yeah, man, Rodgers is going to be around for a few seasons, right? You feel me? Rodgers, this is year one of his 5-year verbal commit. You saw how it benefited guys like Garrett Wilson. Might hurt a guy like Zach Wilson. As you saw, we beat the Seahawks, and playoff picture is available. Top seed in the NFC. The lowest overall rated team. It's just crazy, right? I mean, what are we doing, right? I'm going to tell you what we're doing. We're sacking the quarterback. Look at McDowell. If it's not McDowell, it's Bozeman. One of my linebackers is getting to the quarterback every single play, every single first, second, third down, right? Talking to reporters, right? And they're asking me about how well we're doing and what it's going to take in order to win this next matchup, right? Our O-line has been balling out. That's what they was talking about, right? So the rushing challenge, right? Because that's got to be a more primary weapon. But at this point, we're not playing. We're not playing games. We're simulating. Right? Like I said, we lost the second game of the week, or second game of the season to the Packers. Sort of a rivalry game, right? Because we're now in Chicago, so we're the Chicago team now, right? And again, we won 10. We lost the last matchup. We won 10. When we win 10, we simulate, right? So yeah, that's what it is, right? Baker Mayfield, player of the week, right? We didn't make a guy. Our guy didn't get player of the week. Nobody for our team got player of the week because again, we're not playing at this point. So we're probably not gonna have any breakout performances like that, right? It might behoove me, right, to play a lot of the games. As you see, Brian Rush, our defensive end, big body dude, injured, right? But it's not a big deal to me, right? I said in one of my videos that Kirk Cousins, the Vikings, they did draft a guy, Jaren Hall. And Kirk Cousins, I think this might be his last year in the league or his last year as the starter. I'm pretty sure he's going to regress, and they have a young guy who they're going to, ask to step up to the top spots. We show you the upgrades here, right? The Vikings, still a very competitive team, but they might want to bring along, his name is Jaren Hall in real life, right? Yeah, man, we lose to the Vikes. Time to take on the Bucks. This is a big time game. This game has big time seeding implications, right? So I'll show you the player of the weeks, right? But the Bucks are second in the NFC. So if they beat us, which is a high likelihood because we're not going to play. So if they beat us, right, well, then they're going to take the number 1 spot. And then we're going to have to go into the playoffs as the second seed probably, but as a wild card team. I only want to play 10 games, get all of the all the divisional games out, right? As they're asking us about the Bucks, we're not going to insult them. We're going to be confident. We're going to exude confidence, as the game says, right? But yeah, we want to make sure that we win our division. That's 6 games. We want to win those games. 4 extra games give us number 1 spot in our division, right? As we have a bunch of objectives here. Probably, like I said, probably not gonna happen. Baker Mayfield is a superstar. You give this man a superb receiver. This is kind of what we want for our quarterback, right? Don't have to have a high overall rating. You just got 2 weapons, right? 2 weapons and speed everywhere else, right? Yeah, that's what I want, right? For my guy, right? But yeah, man, we want to win our division and win 10 games, seal up our division, and be able to make a playoff spot as we take the L to the Bucks. Gotta take on the Eagles. The Eagles, 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 right? Jalen Hurts was player of the week last week, right? And we lost to the Bucks. It's not a good look. Sammy Watkins, I need you to keep the team cool, right? Down but not out. Let's keep cool heads. Right? We still have a playoff spot. We still won 10 games. We're going up against a team that's only won 4, right? Talking to reporters, right? Hey, what can you do when you lose to the Bucks and they're that good? They take the number 1 spot from us in the conference, right? As you can see, there's nothing we can do, right? The Rams are pegged as a 7th seed, right? So I don't know, right? We'll have to see if that pans out for them, right? But the Eagles are 4-10. I don't know what that's about, right? Jalen Hurts, 94 overall. Hassan Reddick, 92 overall. Not really sure why the Eagles have been playing so bad, but, go on ahead, show them the upgrades, and you probably might as well want to go on ahead and, I don't know, maybe chalk this one up as a W in the L column for us, a dub for the Eagles, because we're not going to play the game, right? As you see, Joe, he's steadily getting upgrades, and they proceed to put 70 on us. Oddly enough, the team that did that this past season, was the Dolphins. They put up 70. So that's crazy that we play the Dolphins after getting 70 put on our forehead. Chad Beebe is injured, right? And speaking of real life football, right? I'm recording this video the day or the night after. Basically, earlier today, I watched the Huskies, Illinois Huskies, and yeah, I'm not going to say I was disappointed. They actually fought, as we check out what our preparations are for the Dolphins this week, right? They actually fought hard. But yeah, man, we lost that game. It's been a very rocky season. It's not been rocky. It's been bad. We only have 1 win. We now have 4 losses as we take this L to the Dolphins. Or we have 4 losses as NIU. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, right? I watched this game in anticipation. The Falcons are not 7th seed. So the Rams, they're 6th seed. We don't know where they're going to be at in the playoffs, right? They're 6th seed. We don't know, right? They may not make it. They might make it. We don't know, right? But yeah, man, I'm a little upset that the Huskies took the L, right? I'm sure you watched it. If you didn't, well, Too bad for you. I'll tell you a little bit about it, right? Rocky Lombardi, I said that we thought Rocky wasn't the guy. It's Ezekiel Elliott showing that he could still be a big time player at running that still deserves every penny that he asked for, right? But yeah, Rocky Lombardi is still the guy. It's become apparent to me. It's become apparent to everyone else. The Rock is still that dude. But yeah, man, I don't know what it's gonna take to win, right? I don't know what it's gonna take to win in the match, right? As you saw, Job got an upgrade, and Bozeman, me not controlling them, he ends up getting Player of the Week honors. That's what's up, right? That's your season. Looking at Job's numbers, 3,000 yards. I mean, I did not expect him to throw that many yards. But then again, I have to keep in mind, he has receivers that have maxed out speed and one catch and one catch. So at the very least, he's going to be able to make it happen, right? Clearly, what I've been trying to do is I was trying to ask Job to be more of a focal point in the offense, considering that he's not that good. As you see, Job has gotten his weight up. He didn't gain a couple pounds, right? But I need to focus more on this, right? You saw Job do 19 picks to 12 touchdowns. We need to focus more on the run game, right? We had two guys get almost, as a team, we rushed for almost 2,000, maybe about 2,000 yards, right, amongst three people. This is the type of team we need to be. We have Rosenthal. His usage was very low this season, admittedly, because I felt like it was kind of, cheating to use him too much, right? Mark Johnson, MJ, right? Rosenthal didn't really get much in the passing game, right? That's really what we wanted to make his money, right? But, at the end of the day, we're going to have to start being more of a run-first team, right? Joe should be throwing 2,000 yards a season. That'd be fine, right? As we're taking a look at the receiving numbers, and MJ, Mark Johnson, rocking number 47, he seems to be that guy, right? He does seem to be that guy. But he doesn't have a 1,000 yard season, right? As you see, our line, we gave up a lot of sacks, and the defense is balling, right? We all know the defense is balling, right? Bozeman had a ton of sacks, and Dow had a ton of sacks, right? Bozeman had 5 picks, right? But yeah, man, Mark Johnson, I feel like he's that guy. Again, nobody on offense really emerged. Nobody had crazy eye-popping numbers, right? Our running game, which was the strongest, I guess you could say, as a team, as a collective, as we show you the passing yards around the league. Baker Mayfield showing he's an elite quarterback on the same scale, on the same level as Burrow and Mahomes and Hurts. Crazy. But I mean, I never liked how the Browns just got rid of him. I ain't like it. I thought that they had, and I know I talked about it, but I just don't think that they should have done that. They should have kept him or should have drafted him lower or whatever. Whatever the excuse I can make for Baker, I'm going to make it. As you see Joe, he's in the conversation with attempts, and that's really about it, right? And of course, the most picks thrown by Joe. But Aaron Rodgers threw 18. He's in good company, but Rodgers threw 27 touchdowns. We only threw 12. But yeah, man, nobody on offense on our team really emerged as a primary weapon. I guess you could say Silas was that guy, right? 900 plus yards. Maybe if we ran the ball a little bit more, he'd have 1,000, right? We could have possibly, it looked like we could have had 2, guys run for 1,000, and then a third guy run for like 500, right? And then, that would have really bolstered our run game and our numbers. Just taking a look at the rushing yards, touchdowns, leaders here, right? So I guess Mark Johnson is that guy, but we're going to have to lean more towards James Silas, Chauncey Brownhill, and Rosenthal. Again, we got to get Rosenthal's usage up, right? I know he had about 500 or so yards rushing. We got to get him out there a little bit more, right? I wanted to emphasize the thunder aspects, as you saw the receiving numbers. But instead, we're going to have to get a little bit of extra lightning in there, right? As you look at the tackles, right? McDowell and Bozeman, our defense, best in the league, hands down. Bozeman had 5 picks. That ties for second most in the league as a linebacker. Tyson Pryor, we had some bad moments with him throughout the season. And obviously, our offense isn't as high-powered as we like to think. Plus, we're playing on longer quarters. So his usage was pretty high. right? And Brett Maher had a 61-yard field. Brett Mayer had a 61-yard field. So his usage was pretty high, right? And of course, Kirkpatrick, right? He punted the ball a lot. Didn't really show you too much of that, right? Did, however, want to show you the punt game. Kick return was nice, but Rosenthal and punt return, pretty good yards. So his all-purpose yardage was pretty good, right? Wild card, taking on the Niners. The Rams are no longer in the playoff hunt, right? But you have the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Bucks, all from the NFC South. Crazy, right? We lost the last game of the season, obviously. So we're talking to reporters, trying to ease their minds. You gotta ease the team's minds. You gotta ease everybody's minds. The coach, he is a mad scientist. He knows what he's doing. He knows what's going on. We have it all figured out, right? We're gonna play it cool. First playoff win for our owner GM is now a head coach, president of football operations. He's gonna play it cool. He's not gonna get pig-headed, big-headed, even though he has a nepotism thing going on. Got his wife balancing the books, got his son playing quarterback, he's playing coach, right? But he has full-fledged faith in his family business, right? As we take a look at the preparations for this game, right? Bozeman, again, separated himself and has shown that he's that guy, right? He got highest overall rating on the team thus far, 76 overall, right? That's what's up, right? Fleshing out our coaching tree, right? We got the player personnel almost filled out. Or do we get it? I think we almost have it, right? One more player tree, right? And now, finally, gameplay. Sack, 3rd and 17. Purdy, get your butt down. Cards, 1st and goal from the 2. He's just running in. That's just how we handle it, right? 3rd and 18. Purdy, take a knee or take a nap, a dirt nap. 3rd and 15. Purdy, another dirt nap. Both my linebackers coming after you, right? Jake Moody, no good. Wide left. That's a shame, right? Here comes a linebacker for you on 3rd and long. Pretty crucial. This is in the 2nd quarter. Niners now, 2nd quarter. A little bit of time left in the game in the 2nd quarter, but Debo is the fumble. And now it's going to be Niners ball again. 2nd and 2. Pass to the right side. Debo, redeem yourself. Run a man over. Redeem yourself, Mr. Samuels. Right? Get the ball down to the 42. Now the ball at the 48. 3rd and 15. Sack Brock Purdy again. 4th and 21. 2nd and 10. Debo runs it again. It's another fumble. Like, if you want Debo to be a running back, just move McCaffrey to receiver. I don't understand that. He's bigger than him anyway. So, whatever, right? Another sack. No, it's an incomplete pass. He's hit as he throws. 4th and 13. You can see now we're 17 points up. So the Niners are getting desperate, right? And then check this play out. 17-yard catch from Job to Townsend and then a 14-yard touchdown. Playoff Job throwing touchdowns. 3rd and 15, Niners. Nope, nothing. They gotta go for it. 4th down, last chance. Get off the field. And we would proceed to simulate. And yeah, they couldn't even get in the end zone. Red zone shutout, right? How about Job outperforming Brian Purdy's a young quarterback. He's not an elite guy, but we have to emphasize playing great defense and keeping other quarterbacks out or keeping them off of rhythm so that our guy is exactly how we drew it up. So that our guy can shine even though he's not that good. And Silas. Big Silas with a ton of yards, man. I mean, this guy's that dude. Silas is that guy, and Chauncey Brown-Hill is not that far off, right? You don't count either one of them out, right? As you see Silas's rushing numbers, right? I'm going over it again because I'm admiring it. Javier Winters, right? We had a pretty good receiving day. It wasn't great, but by our standards, pretty good. Pretty good by our standards, for our standards, right? But again, right, the run game, 2 running backs, 3 running back attack, right? We're going to have to go with that, right? We're looking at blocking, don't really care about blocking. Let's go to defense, right? McDowell and Bozeman, both getting after the quarterback, handling business. I like it. First playoff win, successful. We're moving on to the next round. talking to a guy who technically works for Job. He technically works for Dad. So he technically works for me because I'm both. I'm Job, I'm Joby. Yeah, he technically works for me, but it's all good. He can give me praise. He has to in order to keep his job. You know what I'm saying? Right? And we flesh out the coaching tree. Yep, all the way. Flesh it out all the way. So we have everything on the player personnel side fixed up. We're now in the divisional round, taking on the Carolina Panthers. NFC South, right? Action up top, right? The Chiefs are the 3rd seed, as you saw, right? The Cards and the Chiefs were the 1st seeds initially. Now they're lower than the 1st seed, right? So, but we're in the divisional round. So we just gotta make the conference round, taking on the Panthers. The Panthers being coached by Frank Reich, their very first franchise quarterback, or the franchise's first quarterback. I don't know if Frank Reich is a franchise, but he probably is. Could consider him a franchise quarterback, right? Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again in Chicago, taking on the Panthers. Sanders, Thompson, Cards, Jobster, and of course the Panthers going up against Bryce Young. First play, or from 3rd and 10 for Bryce, or 1st and 10 for Bryce, don't matter. Fumble, and the Cards recover. 3rd and 11 for the Panthers now. Just over 10 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Young drops back, gets sacked. 3rd and 1 now for the Cards. Look at, is that Brownhill or don't matter, punishing people at the goal line. Chauncey Brownhill running downhill. You feel me? 3rd and 15, screen pass. Amir Smith-Marsette gets plenty of room, plenty of space to operate. 1st down and then some. 3rd and 15. We were good protection for Bryce. Closing moments of the 2nd quarter. It's over a minute left. Bryce 1st and 10 from the 23. Good protection. Finds Hayden Hurst to the left side. 1st down. 3rd and goal. Having problems getting to the end zone. Bryce hit. Sack. Panthers have to settle for a field goal. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Down by only 7. 3rd quarter. Panthers in the gun. 3rd and 6. Sacked again. Tell them stay down. Don't get up, right? 3rd inches at midfield. That's Brownhill again, right? At the goal line. You know what it is. That's the speedster. It wasn't going to be no big time center. It was the speedster. Quick, couldn't catch him, right? Throws it on 3rd and long. Incomplete pass. 4th and 9. Very next play. Panthers need a conversion. They won't get it. We just need one more 1st down to finish the rest of this game off. Was that Rosenthal? That was Rosenthal. So that didn't apply there. Tack on a cheap late field goal, and we will get another playoff victory, ladies and gentlemen. Another playoff victory for us with a quarterback who initially was not even a great quarterback. My quarterback was the worst overall weighted quarterback. And it's not to say like I said, I'm going to defend myself. It's not to say I suck. It's to pay homage or show respect to real life NFL players. As Chauncey Brownhill led the charge in the ground game, right? But it's to pay homage to real NFL players, right? I could have used any real NFL player, right? I could have extended the career of Cam Newton or tried to bring, a quarterback who are of relative obscurity, real NFL or relative obscurity, with the way that the XP works and the way that I could play defense and get sacks at will. I could have put anybody at quarterback. And that's kind of the point that I'm making, is I could put anybody at quarterback on this game, not play, because I'm not going to play, run the ball, protect our guy, playing old school 90s football, right? Falcons, Cards, right? The Birds versus the Dirty Birds, right? I thought that was always an insult, but whatever, right? We're going up against the Falcons, right? Zaven Collins, I've been seeing his name a lot. He's been balling out. It was a good move to send him to the Titans, right? That Buccaneers game he played, we had to go up against Budda Baker. We didn't do our guys from the stars, and we did not do them dirty. We put them in fantastic situations. So we had to go up against the Falcons. Calais Campbell, drafted by the Cards, right? No longer a Cardinal. Has a good situation, though, in ATL, right? So you gotta love it for him, right? The upgrades there. But yeah, moving on to the NFC Conference Championship game. Chicago Cardinals. Fumble! Bozeman hits Ritter. He drops it 4th and 10. 3rd and goal. Cards at the goal line. Touchdown. The Birds. Right? 3rd and 15 for the Falcons from the 17. Ritter gets sacked again. Cards up by a touchdown. Falcons got to settle for a field goal. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Falcons down by 4. Backed up against the shadow of their own goalpost. Ritter is sacked. That's a safety. Tack on 2. Falcons, 3rd and 15. Left side throw pass to Cordero Patterson. Not enough for a first down. Bring out Younghoe Koo again. He kicks it in. Okay, you want to kick field goals? We got a kicker too. Tyson Pryor had a prior commitment. He's going to make it. He's talking to me. Talking at the quarterback, right? Hand off to Brownhill. Because I'm the quarterback. So you get it, right? We're up now by 14. Throw picked off. McDowell in the right place at the right time. Gets his stick by Drake London. I don't feel that, but whatever, man. Tyson Pryor has to kick the field goal. We can't punch it in, can't capitalize on the pick, and it's good, right? 3rd and 16, and Desmond Ritter goes down again. 3rd and 2, we're going to go for it. Rare sighting here. We don't get it. So we're going to have to ask Tyson Pryor to put us up by 20 here in the 4th quarter with over 12 minutes to go. And it's good. 3rd and very long for the Falcons. Another sack, and ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. We would proceed to put more points on the board. The Falcons will finally score a touchdown, but it's too little too late. 35-13. Jobster wasn't his best performance, right? It was not his best performance. He threw a touchdown, but he also threw a pick. One of his biggest issues is picks, throwing picks. He be throwing picks, right? And it's not a good look, right? I probably would throw a lot of picks if I was playing quarterback in the NFL. I mean, my God, like, that position is so hard. Okay, it's really the toughest, but the most important position in all sports. And we're getting it done with a guy who, I mean, when we really need, and throughout the season, when we really needed him to, he could get it done. I try to let him get a couple of throws, get a rhythm, get the offense going, get the offense into a rhythm. And then when we get ourselves into a second and manageable situation, I try to get out there and, as you see, control offense, run the ball, especially when we get to like midfield on those, or like those 3rd and 4th and short situations. I tend to go for it, right? Because I know we're going to fall. You see these running backs, they fall forward every single time. That power run style, that 250 plus pound frame is perfect, right? They're perfect. The game, the style of game that we play is perfect. We got the right scheme for everything, right? Pro Bowl rosters. Baker Mayfield, Desmond Ritter, our Pro Bowl quarterback. Baker's Pro Bowl quarterback number 1, right? Baker, this is his 2nd season showing that he can throw for 5,000 plus yards. But I mean, come on. When you're an NFL caliber quarterback and you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I mean, of course you're going to play great, but that's not to take anything away from Baker, man. He has learned how to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. So I'm a fan. I was a fan of Baker when he was with the Browns. I didn't like that they let him go. I don't want to say cut, probably released him, probably did cut him, right? But I didn't like that they let him go, right? I thought that they needed to put more weapons around him. He clearly was a guy, when he had a D.D. Westbrook at Oklahoma, he thrived. When he had the weapons around him, he thrived. And it's being made apparent here, right? He has the weapons around him, he thrives. And I feel like that, I mean, Baker, Jordan Love, right? These guys who, when you put them in the right situation, they can thrive. Not so much like the Kirk Cousins and the Tannehill. The same situation. Put them in the right position, they can thrive. But, you know, Tannehill, Cousins, Tannehill was, I believe, was a Heisman finalist at one point in time. Cousins was a pretty good quarterback coming out. But for the most part, have they really proven they can win at this level? As we take a look at upgrades, right? Cousins especially, right? He's on a very tight leash, right? A very tight rope. He's walking a tight rope. They drafted a guy. He has to prove he's that guy. Or else, because like I said, he's one of those top 64 guys, can easily be transitioned into a mentor backup role, right? Taking a look at the players of the week could give you a clear indication of what the Super Bowl looks like. It'll be Cards, Ravens. Lamar Jackson beats Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Conference Championship game. DeMario Bozeman, he will win MVP. McDowell right there next to him, right underneath him, not like that, right? Our president of football operations has a 1 overall. He wins Coach of the Year, right? Tyreek Hill, Cheetah, right? Max Crosby, right? No offensive rookies of the year or defensive rookies of the year on the AFC side of things. As you may have understood, we cut all the way. I dwelled on. I was like, "What is going on?" And then it dawned on me. We cut all the rookies on every team. The only team that has rookies is our team. I didn't think about that initially, but then I started to realize if you cut every single rookie from every single team, then that means that when it comes to the conference awards for rookies in a specific year, if you're the only team with rookies, then you're gonna have a ton of guys making that. Basically, all your rookies on either side are all gonna make that list. Crazy to think, but yeah. So I mean, and I believe you can get him a dev trade like that, right? As Bozeman wins Defensive Player of the Year, McDowell right there, and as you can see, look. None but rookies from the Cardinals. Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? And I had to check it. I didn't see too many guys had a dev trade. I'm gonna review it to make sure, right? But you're a defense balled out, right? Tons of guys here. I know for a fact Gordon had a star dev, so I'm pretty sure guys had dev traits after making these lists. But I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, but you were the only rookies playing. So why does it matter if you guys get dev traits? Well, I mean, hey, regardless, right? I didn't design it like that. I just knew that these quote unquote new rookies, we were not going to let them get a roster spot. And we're going to be doing that moving forward as Bozeman wins best linebacker of the NFC. Right? Bozeman just getting everything. He getting all the awards. It's crazy. Say something for McDowell. I'm just playing. Right? If we really want to hinder him, right, as we see artists going out. So I'm looking at all these. I want to see where our guys were if they were there. Right? But yeah, man, when we get Bozeman to be that guy, it's Tyson Pryor. He's top 10 kicker, right? When we get Bozeman to be a 99 overall and a superstar X Factor, we'll put him on the D-line, right? Super Bowl, just the beginning. Not everything, just the beginning. We are in this one for the long haul, ladies and gentlemen. We've set it up so that we can be in this one for the long haul. A couple things we wish we could have done differently. But for the most part, some things we can adjust on the fly. I know, it's not Lamar Jackson's actual picture. A ton of people have pointed that out. This is a problem on Madden 24 as well. They need to fix that, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? That is Lamar Jackson, just not the same guy. Not the guy that we know, right? There is a corner named Lamar Jackson. He's on the game, right? Bozeman has 11 skill points. This guy he went from a 53. He evolved from a 53 overall to an 89 in one season. Bozeman is that guy. He is that guy. Simply put, we're working on our coaching tree. Now, Bozeman has a hidden dev trait, and we're going to make him a captain. I mean, it's clear, and I made sure everybody's earning it. You're not going to make captain or get captain status if you didn't earn it. Ladies and gentlemen, we here, Super Bowl. And I may not sound as excited, right? But the truth is, because I know we're going to execute. 3rd and 17, Jackson tries to throw, gets hit as he does so. 2nd and goal for the Cards at the 1. No need for contact. He just runs it in. Our line just bowls over these guys. These the Ravens. Our guys are smaller. 3rd and 3, we stop them. But our line is smaller. We're dominating people at the point of attack. Ravens, fumble. Recovered by the Birds. 7-point lead for the Cards. 4th and 1. Boom, boom, boom. Look at James Silas, Silas of the Lambs, 2nd and inches. Give it to Silas again at fullback. Touchdown, Bird game. Up by 14, 3rd and 14. Jamar Laxon, get sacked, son. Yeah, I did that. On the handoff to Dobbins. Now look at that. They tried to make him get up. Foolery. And my man had to chant and cheer for that. 4th and 1. James Silas again, touchdown, Bird game, 21-0, 3rd and 3, early portions of the game. Can I get the first? So they were punting, and we were fast forward the game. All we need is one more first down. James Silas gets it. Yeah, and bring Kenny Golladay. Get your butt on the field and take a knee so the quarterback can celebrate with his dad. Because they did it. It's like the Buffaloes, right? How about the Buffaloes, right? I cannot stand that they lose, right? I wanted to see the Buffaloes have a moment like this. It felt like this in the first game of the season. Not entirely, right? This is a Super Bowl. And yeah, we did it, man. With the lowest overall rated team on the game, sacking quarterback. And you got to change that playbook for the Ravens. I don't know why they did that. It made rushing the ball as a quarterback completely nerfed. And not only that, but guys like Lamar will not rush for 1,000 yards. I get that he's not going to do it, but then yes, he does. It's just crazy how Madden works out, right? The fact that I could do this is every reason why you don't. I played this on all. This is every reason why you don't need to buy new Maddens. Just have fun, man. Stop complaining. But I get it. Y'all be paying a ton of money. So I understand. Buying these new systems, buying these new games, right? You saw Chad Beebe was player of the game. But no matter, right? We win the Super Bowl with this guy. This guy. That's me. Don't look like me, but that's me, right? We win the Super Bowl with me, right? I put on 10 pounds of weight throughout the season so I don't have to constantly, be pained every time I get hit, right? But yeah, man, mediocre, not mediocre. Economical performance, talent is mediocre, certainly. But when you have all of the tools to play to a good defense, a fantastic, our run game is fantastic. We rushed for almost 2,000 yards as a team. Our run game is fantastic. We had a guy at halfback get about 1,000 yards all purpose. Our run game is fantastic. Gotta show everybody some love. Gotta show everybody some love. The linemen get some love, except for the kickers, right? Except for the kickers and the punters. We're not gonna show their stats. We're just gonna show you the stats of these guys, show you some upgrades, and yeah, man, that's the season. That's your season. We won the Super Bowl after going, 10-7? We won the Super Bowl after going 10-7 and finding ourselves in the playoffs as a wild card team. Initially, the number 1 team in the league. We're going to work on this side of the coaching tree because this is the side where you can get the quarterback upgrades, right? This is what we're focused on, right? This side of the coaching tree. And yeah, man, Chicago Cardinals come back home, win, beat the Ravens, who won a Super Bowl in this franchise already by 8 points, right? And yeah, man, those are your players of the week, right? We get the upgrades, right? McDowell here next, right? We're gonna finish up on Bozeman, but McDowell is the next guy up to be that dude or to get an MVP award or something like that. And then if necessary, I'll move Job to like corner or something and make it so that he can get an MVP and a dare trade and a ton of skill. Well, I'll do that. Probably not gonna show you those games in the season, but I'll do that. I don't mind doing that. I don't, right? But I'm gonna see. Right? We're gonna have to see. We'll have to get other guys better first, right? And we are gonna have a 4-man linebacking core that's absolutely star-studded, right? 4 linebackers that are really good. I don't think there's a guy on offense that really has shown that he's gonna be that guy. So yeah, man, we'll focus on Job and the linebackers, right? Right. How about the Texans? They have relocated. Yes, we moved them. They were in Austin. We moved them back to Houston, and yeah, we're gonna name them. We're gonna give them the Oilers, right? We're gonna bring back the Houston Oilers. Now I'm a little upset because I missed the opportunity. I was so focused on other stuff. Week 7 was our bye week. The first thing I should have done was control the Oilers and made sure they got the right uniforms. I don't mind these uniforms, but I don't like them. And you can't change it. I wanted to make sure they got the old school love your blue uniforms, but it's whatever, man. It's still gonna be an interesting rivalry game for the Titans and the Oilers now in the AFC South. Tons of retirements, right? We reverted every single player that Headley, I don't understand that, right? He was a rookie a few years ago, right? But we reverted every single player who we did turn to like a young guy. We reverted them back to their original age, right? And you see tons of guys are retiring right now, right? So a lot of teams have holes to fill. So you might start seeing some rookies or possible some regular players or players that couldn't fit on rosters because of roster constraints and what have you. So I'm gonna figure it out. Gonna have that figured out, right? But everybody except for Aaron Rodgers is we're gonna allow you to retire. I thought I was gonna see Von Miller on here. We don't, right? Surprising enough to me. But that's neither here nor there, right? Aaron Rodgers, that was year 1. So the next 4 years are going to be years 2 through 5 for him. We're going to keep him in the league, right? I know it's going to hurt Zach Wilson's progression. That's too bad. As you've heard me say before, right? I'm going to make sure we keep the rosters the same. How about that guy, Alex Erickson? Ridiculous. I was throughout the season. I'm controlling all teams. I'm keeping an eye on the transaction logs. You see some of our mentor guys are retiring. So we're gonna have to replace a couple of our mentors. They got themselves a ring, got up out of here. But there was a couple guys who kept getting cut, and I just couldn't understand why. It's hurting the team's salary cap, putting them in the negative. Every time you cut it, as Jordan Poyer decides to retire, right? You're putting guys into the negative on salary cap. Finally, Mercedes Lewis retires, right? Obviously, we kept him in the league as long as we could, right? But yeah, man, cutting guys that you don't need to be cutting, it was irritating me. Teams were irritating me. I had to keep going through the transaction log to make sure that if you cut somebody that is on the team, supposed to be on the team in real life, what have you, we're gonna bring them back. Gonna put them back on the team. Don't be cutting my guys. Don't be cutting my guys, man. So it's just that simple. Don't be cutting my guys, man. As you see, retirements have gone on for quite some time now, right? Because we've put it off for a few seasons. So the game is getting its revenge. They're like, look, man, all these guys you ain't letting retire. Guys gotta go. Guys got to go, right? So that's retirements, right? We simulate the draft. We have way too much youth on this team to be trying to get young guys on the squad, right? Free agency, right? I know we did that backwards, but whatever, right? We're going to sign Carlos Dunlap, right? Of course, we're going to move him to the offensive line for his mentor tag, right? Alex Okafor, another guy with the mentor tag. Why don't you come on down, right? Mentors wanted, right? Robert Quinn, aka Puerto Rican Bobby, a guy who we like putting on our teams. Sign him, right? Tyler Davison, mentor. We need that. Come on down, sir, right? Cedric Agbuehi. Now the other guys are D linemen. They're gonna move to O line. We needed a nose tackle. We'll move him to nose tackle as a left tackle playing nose, right? Mike Davis, veteran running back, mentor tag. Sir, you make a good middle linebacker. Got the size, right? Malcolm Brown, right? Nice physique. Put him at middle linebacker, right? And yeah, man, that's our roster, right? Joel, we're gonna pay him $1 million. Even though he probably deserves $5 million, we checked, and with his overall rating right now, he might be better than he's better than 12 quarterbacks in the league. And all those guys were third string quarterbacks. So Job's only going to get $1 million. And when he just proves he's an elite quarterback, we'll pay him big money, right? But looking at the ratings, guys have these are some drastic improvements, right? Guys was like 50 overalls. Now they're like mid to high 60s. This is what we want to see. Right? This is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see our guys develop. They're all going to the second season. So it's like everybody's 21 years old. There's no need to draft a rookie on this team. If you got signed as a rookie from the draft, we cutting you. Because there's too much youth on this team. We don't need more, right? Now, Bozeman, he does have a superstar depth trait. And the reason why is because, as you saw, We paid him. We gave him a good contract. And in editing his contract from the player edit menu, we revealed his dev trait. Not that it's a big deal, right? The reality of it is a hidden dev trait is better because now you don't need a breakout scenario. You can just possibly get, he could have vaulted up to a superstar X Factor, but it's fine. We'll get a breakout scenario. We'll do it. But yeah, man, I'm excited for next season, right? I'm excited. I'm gonna get up out of here, get at me, and function with your boy.